Welcome to Sepang for the first round of 2019. This is the third series of Blancpain GT racing in Asia. This year a new name, Blancpain GT World Challenge Asia, to go along with GT World Challenge Europe and GT World Challenge America. We will knit together the story of that as we go through, but fantastic news, 30 cars, a record start to this, the third season. It's hot, it's humid, look at the Malaysian flag blowing. We could have a change of weather coming through. Rain often a feature of the early afternoon here in the tropics. We need to go down and find out the thoughts of the drivers ahead of this, the opening round, the first round of the Blancpain GT World Challenge. Drivers with Claire.
Just a matter of getting used to the car, used to the team. Yeah, I'm before that, and I will be ready for the qualifying.
It's very exciting doing a home race, first race here, and been learning quite a lot with the team and also Jasmine. We've been working closely for the last 6 or 7 months, and really exciting new car, still learning about the GT3, and it will be an exciting season.
2016, we had a strong year together developing the car and finished second in Blancpain Endurance Championship. So this year, I mean, it's a whole new project, whole new team. I mean, the level now in Asia, it's super strong, and you see all the lineups of all the Pro-Ams and the Silvers. It makes the racing really exciting, and that's what makes me want to come back here and race.
I was racing for Absolute already last year, and it was a really good run. We really wanted to make a strong impact this year as well, and yeah, I'm really happy to see Vera next to me.
That's the first time in the Blancpain GT World Challenge Asia. Exciting times, and I'm really looking forward to this year, especially pairing up with Martin. You know, big thanks to Audi Sport Asia for putting their trust in us to hopefully do a good job this year.
I fell ill last year in the middle of the season, so I was out for a good 8 months, I think. I did a sort of like a test race a couple of weeks ago, finished second. Mercedes is great, and I'm just happy to be racing again.
Yeah, looking forward to finally see where everybody's on you know, at when they go for the maximum. So yeah, quite confident, and we'll see how the weekend goes.
Well, that was Claire Jedrek catching up with the drivers yesterday afternoon, and now we get the fantastic scene. As it's great to see the people down on the grid, but I love the moment when the cars suddenly are revealed in all their glory as the mechanics and friends and family pull off and we can see all their colours. There's Yuan Bo, Chinese racer, in pole position, but don't forget he's got an extra 35 seconds at a standstill to serve later on. The one McLaren in the race at 720S, we heard from Kei Tasawa before, that's a prototype, and the real car, their first racing car, will come to them for the next round. But it's Absolute Racing first and second on the grid, 9-12 ahead of 9-11. And yes, it's getting darker and darker out there on the circuit, but again, the co-drivers walking off, they'll get their turn after 25 minutes of this race. But right now it's the starting drivers who have to have their focus on what is lying ahead. Time for the drivers to focus. Yuan Bo seems some distance ahead. We need the car on the right-hand side of the grid to really pull alongside, and that is Tanart Sathian Thirical, and it's why go 2 abreast, 3 abreast when you can be 5 abreast on the wide start finish straight. Is this going to work? Certainly the number 99 Mercedes, Darrell Young, fancies a slice of the action. I sense he's gone from 5th into the lead of the race, trying to sweep around the outside. Looks so Sathian Thirical's got it right, but using real muscle. It looks like he's gone back to 3rd place, but Darrell Young will be, he's normally smiling, he'll be beaming like mad. He's taken the lead into turn 1, a little bit of shunting to do so, but I'd call that very clean. And certainly Sathian Thirical took the wide line, has moved into 2nd place. Yuan Bo back to 3rd, and then Mercedes and Porsche fighting in behind. And the number 12 Wear and Tan-driven Audi has dropped back into 6th place, but Darrell Young up the inside, made it work. Super start. Very tidy, 30 cars into turn 1, and even more excitedly, 30 of them out of turn 1. All going strongly indeed. The 999 Audi down in the pack there. That's Morris Chen trying to make it work, but trying to not cause any troubles at all. But what a start from Darrell Young. Super start to his campaign. He's moved across from racing Porsches the last couple of seasons, but Craft Bamboo Racing leading the way. There is the car just coming out. There, look at that, fantastic. The 99 Mercedes lead the way. But look, the windscreen wipers are going. Oh, this could be a factor. So, and in fact, it's a factor for Wan Bo. He runs wide. This is what we call the far part of the circuit. It's where you go to the high. This is where the rain was reported. This is why the track was declared a wet track, and it's cost. Well, has it cost him third position? Yes, Bo is back into fourth. We've had a change of position. He ran wide at turn, let me think about that, about turn 11, has paid the price. He lost a position, he lost ground as well as position. But right now, focus on the front of the race. Daryl O'Young leading, being chased very hard by Sathian Thirikul. And we've had a spinner, it's the 55 Mercedes from Craft Bamboo Racing, and that is Daniel Au. I don't think that was enthusiasm or over-enthusiasm. That was the effect of rain. It appears to be falling heavily now on the start-finish straight as well. So it will be windscreen wipers all round. Sathian Thirikul really pushing Daryl O'Young through the final corner onto the start-finish straight. That's turn 15. Gap between first and second, but it looks as though it's under a second. It's a 0.427 of a second is the gap first to second. Sathian Thirikul on the headlights, flashing away, seeing if he can upset the driver in front of him. That is Daryl O'Young. Wide line, tight line being taken there by Alex Au, but he holds on to ninth place in that white Lamborghini. Leading the way in GT4, it's just coming into shot, the BMW M4 of Sunako Chikuchu. Every single car looking there at the ARN Racing Porsche using those windscreen wipers. Through the sweepers around turns 5 and 6, looking at those now, that seems to be the dry part of the track, but once they start going up the hill, out of turn 9 through 10 and 11 at the top of the hill, that is where it seems super, super slippery. We've got the safety car has pulled out onto the circuit. I saw some damage on the back of one of the Mercedes. I'll try and work out which one that was, down about 15th position. So just looking to see, so Daryl O'Young had escaped to the tune of 2 seconds, but the safety car is on the track. They would have all seen that in race control. You can see them looking at all the screens up in race control. A great addition being able to see that. Has been streamed all around the world, and it's because, of course, the McLaren is sitting backwards in the track. Oh, Sathian Thirikul has decided he is not going to let Daryl O'Young get the drop on him. He's tucked into the slipstream. We know the Porsches are mighty in a straight line. Here comes the move. Mysteriously, Daryl's not offering him the inside line. If you're going anywhere, you're going to go around the outside. You know, he might. Oh, change in third place. That was very, very positive indeed. Wear and Tan nailing it down there. Oh, and it looks very wet indeed, and a few cars really getting the tail. But they kicked up the moisture there. A, it's raining, and B, the water was sitting in the painted curbs. So the field very, very bunched up indeed, as it should be behind the safety car. Leading them round, Daryl O'Young started 5th, decided that was nowhere near good enough, and we're green again. The safety car has pulled in, and Daryl O'Young will have to try and weather another attack. And as before, he shows the outside line to Sathian Thirikul, and rather careful on the braking, as thank goodness they were into the first corner. But why does the Audi get close? Because he brakes later. This is a really, really good driving from David Chen. I fancied this driver, pairing Andrew Couto on board as his teammate, and that's the car that time after time is gaining position, gaining ground. But look at this, start of the 2019 championship. A Mercedes leading from a Porsche, from an Audi, then we have another Audi, then a Porsche, then a Ferrari. So 4 makes of cars in the top 6 positions. Oh, it's getting tighter and tighter at the front. And it was that Wan Bo coming up the inside, hit the back of his teammate Sathian Thirikul. I'm afraid it's a tricky corner there, but that was braking way late in. And Roloff Bruin said, why should I be 4th when I could be 3rd? And even better, why don't I go into 2nd place? Pit window is now open, and he's picked up, well, that's not the race leader. Safety car, I'm trying to see who's tucked in behind, but the race leader Chen is coming in. GT4 Mercedes at the front of that battle. That's number 199. That's Naomi Ranzang, and she's from GT4. So our race leader in. The scramble has started. Who's going to stay out? What do the people work out on the pit wall? What are the weather conditions on the far side of the circuit? So many permutations. It's a 10-minute pit window. Do you pit early? Do you pit late? Does your team weather forecaster tell you that there is no more rain or is more on the way? So many decisions. As you can see, we started the race with 30 cars. We seem to have about 40 of them in the pits. It's super, super busy, and some of the Absolute Racing cars seem to be blocking the exit of their teammates. That could be trouble for them. So many cars they're running, and they were all at the front of the grid, very much their Porsches and their Audis. Hard to know where to look next. Literally, the pit lane is jammed, and it's very, very unusual. You have all 30 cars trying to come in at the same time, but the driver that seemed to lose the most, two of the cars right at the sharp end of the field. Number 17 lost so much time being handed over to Naoki Yokomitsu. And 999, Andre Couto would have been fuming, taking over from David Chen. Totally blocked in, literally under the commentary box, so I couldn't see it immediately, but a lot of drivers really will be fuming the fact that everybody came in at the same time, but they could see what was happening out on the circuit. They were the ones that wanted their team to bring them in because weather conditions are changing. It looks brighter to my eye, but with just over half an hour of this race, the opening one of two races in the first round of the 2019 championship. And the safety car is out on the circuit, coming in at the end of this lap. Looks like the Honda's struggling to get away after its pit stop. We go from full to empty as the couple of cars shoot past the start-finish line. Safety car still leading someone out on the circuit. Can't quite see you, but it's coming in. So we're halfway through this race. We thought the championship had been given a shape for this, its third season. New name, new faces in new places, but certainly all the permutations have been given even more of a twist. Rain just starting to fall before the start of the race, falling during the race. Now it's easing off. There's the safety car coming up towards turn 15, and Claire Jedrick very quick to the pit spot, and she's gone down to the pits and caught David Chen. He's a driver who's got a lot to complain about. He drove beautifully to take the lead, but his car blocked in the pit lane, and he's down with Claire in the pits.
Okay, great drive there by David Chen. David, you just managed to pass Daryl O. Young there. Tell us the conditions out on circuit. How difficult were they?
It was quite tricky because part of the circuit is completely dry, and then the back part is damp. It's not fully wet, but it's damp, so very tricky for the GT3 with slicks. I think our car was set up very good in this condition, which is the reason why I was able to start from P8 all the way, manage to P1.
So, in hindsight, a great decision not to change to wet.
Yes, correct. I think we made the correct decision.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you very much, Claire. Very good to hear from David Chen, and he knows the Tianchi racing team very well. Finished third in the Asian Le Mans Series GT category. But look at the racing on the track. It's like the start of the race all over again. The safety car withdraws. Looks like the number 16 car. That was one of the cars that was a slightly blocking Parker. Now Matthias Besch, the Swiss racer, has taken that over from John Shen, and showing how it should be done. Being challenged by the pink, white and black Craft Bamboo Melvin Moe-driven Mercedes. But when this sorts out, it looks like we had a slight collision, or certainly side-by-side body blocking. I think it was number 17 Mercedes trying to make a move down through turn 2, but certainly making moves was number 16, trying to see where that actually puts him, because there's a lot of sorting out in this first lap without the safety car. And Andre Couto took over from David Chen. We heard from David down in the pits, David Chen, and his teammate Andre Couto winding that 999 Audi up. But at this point, to my eyes, it looks like the track has dried out in those intervening laps. So anybody who thought they might fit wet weather tyres will be feeling very silly. But I must say, the tyres I saw going on all seem to be dry weather tyres in the pits. Claire is down with Daryl Young in the pits. Let's find out from the driver who made the lead his own. Down with Claire.
Here with Daryl Young, and a phenomenal start there on the inside from 5th place all the way. You managed to make it stick into T1.
Yeah, they definitely had a late reaction to the light. I had to like basically sit up in my seat to even see the light. Once it went, I went, and then I think Bo had a bad start, and Vudukan was boxed in, so I managed to get on the inside and pass them both, and that was a good move to get up there, and a lot of safety cars after that with tough conditions.
Gabriele Piana, the Italian racer, leading in the Indigo Racing Mercedes. On his tail, he's got David Russell in the Hub Auto Corsa Ferrari in 3rd place. Christina Nielsen, welcome to Asian Racing, and she is closing in. This battle we're looking at here is not for the lead of the race. This is, believe it or not, fighting fast and furious for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. And in that 7th place is Chris van der Drift. Lights on, he's just ahead of Matthias Besch, so 9-10 ahead of 16, tucked in behind. Track conditions drying out. Gabriele Piana sitting on a comfortable lead at the moment, 8 seconds clear of the Ferrari of David Russell. So for Indigo Racing, Roelof Bruins drove the race of his life. Certainly we saw him race last year, but nothing in comparison to how he was making it work today. So now we're having a place change because Couto is passed by Jazeman Jafar. Jasmine quick in any country around the world, but a driver who really, really wants to do well on home ground. And the Prince of Johor, Jeffrey Ibrahim, who did the first part of the race, his first race, really, really impressive in very, very competitive and tricky conditions. And building on that, a place gain up to 8th place now for Jasmine Jafar. So look at the graphic, it's Gabriele Piana, David Russell, Alessio Picariello. He is the driver on the move. He just set the fastest lap of the race. It's not good enough. He's going faster still. He's closing the gap. 3.9 seconds down on David Russell as he starts another lap. 3rd place and absolutely flying. The Belgian racer for Craft Bamboo. Of course, it's been a great day for Craft Bamboo Racing. We saw Daryl O'Young take the lead of the race, but it's a teammate. It's the 88 car with Picariello at the wheel that is really, really driving superbly well at this stage in the race. Gabriele Piana still leading, come down very slightly. David Russell in the number 27 Ferrari is closing in. So there's the Ferrari in 2nd place. There's a Mercedes in getting closer and closer. It's Alessio Picariello. There's the GT4 BMW in the background, and the gap back to 4th place. Christina Nielsen is growing and growing. Looks as though Christina's got company tucked in behind number 59. That should be Kantasak Kusiri. Just checking as they cross. Yes, he's closed down to 1.3 seconds. 4th is the 99 Mercedes, down into turn 1. 5th. Windscreen wiper still going. I decided it was a dry track. Driver decided it wasn't. Car 59, investigation, overtaking during safety car period. And 99 and 911 in the pit lane under investigation. Well, as you saw, it was a completely crazy place, but some cars were certainly causing difficulties for others. We'll keep an eye on potential penalties. 99, Christina Nielsen, one of the 2 in that tango.
I think this could be. She's got a good chance here for a podium for her category there for all these silver class. Just looking, her next competitor would be Kuto in class, who doesn't look like he'll be able to make up that pace.
Well, Kuto is in the wars. He's in 8th position, but he's suddenly got a pair of Absolute Racing Porsches coming right onto his tail. 912 with Dennis Olsen and Philip Hamprecht in 911. Here they come, and already making a move up the inside, or trying to go up the inside, is Dennis Olsen. And perhaps there to pick up the pieces is Hamprecht. You can see the field slightly stringing out again now. Number 17, has tumbled down the order. That lost out in the pit lane. Yokomizo, that had a penalty as well. That was a drive-through. Trying to keep its nose clean there. In the AM class is the AMAC Motorsport a Lamborghini. Now take a look. 16. Matthias Besch, hot on his tail. The 888 Mercedes. Jasmine Jafar. Very slight gap, and then you've got Kuto, Olsen, Hamprecht, all super close together. You look all the way up, and is that battle for second position? Most certainly it is. We've had a change because Picariello's put the Mercedes into 2nd past David Russell. Well caught up by the camera crews there. Russell will try and fight back in the Ferrari, but lap after lap you saw that Mercedes getting larger and larger. So Gabriele Piana has shown he doesn't just drive Porsches very well, he's super quick in a Mercedes as well. There in the background of the shot is the 2nd GT4 runner. That is Tony Fong. Catching all the time. Will this be a dream start to their season? Another driver still flicking on the windscreen wipers from time to time, but certainly taking chunks out of the class leader's lead. But we've got a little bit under 7 minutes remaining. Will that be too little for him? But they're both in the same shot. Maybe the BMW can't even see him. There are a couple of GT3 runners between them. Lights flashing. GT4 leader now right in front of the overall leader. Is this the moment? Picariello, he's not waiting for a second opportunity. Into turn 9, he dives up the inside. Still a little bit of argy-bargy, a little bit of bump. GT4 BMW cannot get out of the way. Picariello takes the lead, but well driven by Kinoshita to keep out of the way. But I thought if he'd stayed on his racing line, he couldn't disappear. He had to go somewhere. He might have allowed Piana to fight his way back, and then another of the GT4 cars very much in the way, but Picariello is not taking no for an answer. He went up the inside, and Jasmine Jafar, they got the Honda up ahead of them. He'll be out of the way at turn 4, but up the inside, this is the move surely where Jafar waves the Malaysian flag. Up the inside of Van der Drift, he's braked, but too late. Van der Drift alongside, but it's all right, the power is down for the Mercedes. He should be able to hold on to now what is 5th place. He fought for that lap after lap. Van der Drift drove in exemplary fashion to try and resist him, and now the 888 Racing Mercedes up into 5th position. It looks though it's going to be victory and a famous win for Indigo Racing. It is not their day today, but certainly they'll be very pleased indeed with 2nd place. But Craft Bamboo Racing, so long the Porsche runners in this championship. Now we have a new championship name, Blancpain GT Challenge GT World Challenge Asia, and the winner of the first race of the new renamed series will be Craft Bamboo Racing, will be Alessio Picariello. Second place will go to Indigo Racing, and in third place David Russell for the number 27 Hub Auto Corsa Ferrari. Really closed in at the end. Potential penalty for him though, he's under investigation. But there is our race winner, winning overall, and a Pro-Am pairing at that. Alessio Picariello winning from the top silver entry of Gabriele Piana and MG Choi. But for Jeffrey Lee, who should be waiting, and Alessio Picariello under the winner's arch, and breathe. That was fast, that was furious, that was difficult, and I cannot wait to see Alessio's face when he climbs out. Jeffrey Lee, he wouldn't have predicted, but look, you can see the smiles all over. That's what it means. First race, they put the marker down.
We got Picariello and Jeffrey Lee, an absolute win in the last 2 laps. I just missed that. Tell me what went down. That frown turned upside down.
Man, I was confused. I thought this was for Pro-Am. So I thought we were fighting for P1 Pro-Am, but I didn't know we were P1 overall. So when I saw the checker flag, for me, I was like, what's going on? Like, yeah, the team bounced back for a difficult qualifying. We were really fast in the first 2 test days, but struggling yesterday and today. And then the condition, of course, helped us, but Jeffrey did a great job, kept it on track, and then, yeah, I had to finish the job.
Thank you. Jeffrey, you look cool and calm and collected.
Yeah, because my job, really, I wasn't really expecting. Okay, we were lucky we had some safety car thing, and also but the track, the condition was tricky. You know, rain would start dropping, so in the end, I was getting closer, but I kind of take it easy because I was really looking ahead, see who is, you know, what the chance we have. Then I think, well, yeah, we are already close enough. So, yeah, I just tried to keep the distance, and the last safety car helped us great again. So then, of course, Alessio just bring the home, did a very good job, and still even beat all the silvers. So, yeah, I'm really happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire, for catching up with Alessio Picariello and Jeffrey Lee. You take what comes your way, but you have to say Alessio grabbed that with both hands. As so much happened, let's refresh our memories by taking a look at the results. Victory we know for Jeffrey Lee and Alessio Picariello. Second place for Ricardo Bruins, also racing as MG Choi, and Gabriele Piano, so Mercedes first and second, and Ferrari third place. David Russell bringing home after Yuya Sakamoto started for Hub Auto Corsa. So he started 7th through to second place, but for the winning crew, what a race for the 88 crew. They rose from 12th on the grid. That's where Jeffrey Lee started. Couldn't even see the car that was starting on pole position. It would have been so far ahead, but picked up $10,000 as a reward for the team. So that's an even greater sweetener at the end of the day, but the smiles tell the story. Good morning from Sepang, and welcome to the second race of the opening rounds of Blancpain GT World Challenge Asia. Let's go down to the grid at Sepang because Claire Jedrek is with the driver on pole position with Dennis Olsen.
Right now, we've got factory driver Dennis Olsen here with the Porsche. And yes, he's driving with Embo. And what different conditions it is from yesterday's race.
Yeah, I mean, it's better for us today. I think it's more consistent. It's easier to avoid mistakes. But at the end of the day, we have to do a clean race, and hopefully we'll stay out front.
With that, we've got Jasmine Jafar. You guys had an outstanding day yesterday. Tell us about the expectations today and how you're feeling.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Porsches were pretty quick yesterday, but there's a paper of grip that we're a bit better than them, so we'll see how we plan out today.
Yesterday we had a car go from 5th to 1st at the start. This looks a better controlled getaway. Which of those Porsches? 3 in the first 3 places. Or will it be Jasmine Jafar, who's looking very, very positive? Trying to go up the middle in the Mercedes, but others actually trying to come round him on the outside. But poleman Dennis Olsen seems to have things under control down to turn 1. Certainly Frederick Schandorf has gained a couple of positions, but around the outside goes Alex Imperatori. He is going to be on the correct line for turn 2. That is the key. So a change. The poleman drops back to second place. He's side by side as they go out of turn 2. He may be able to brave it out. Will Dennis Olsen muscle his way back into the lead? No, he won't. So Imperatori's made that really good start. Olsen tucked in behind Matthias Besch, making it a Porsche 1, 2, 3. Number 16, and there tucked in behind Philip Hamprecht, I think, has moved up into 4th place. So it looked as though at the start we had the Mercedes of Jasmine Jafar gaining ground, but not enough. In fact, he's gone down to 6th position, and a brilliant start by Schandorf. He's moved up to 5th place in the Lamborghini. Again, like yesterday, nice, clean start. Competitive racing, but no bumping. That's been a really good start to the 2019 campaign. And in GT4, it's the BMW of Kinoshita leading from those four Mercedes and already just opening out a slight gap. Tidy start from Alex Imperatore, and now we've actually had Dennis Olsen go from first to second, now second to third. Matthias Besch has put Modena Motorsports Porsche up into second place. So positions changing all the time. Philip Hamprecht up to fourth, and Frederick Schandorf, what a start for the Dane, moving to fifth in that white, blue and yellow Lamborghini. And for Jazeman Jaffar, looks though he's going to make progress, and instead he lost 2 positions and he's fallen back to 6th place. Schandorf getting rather sideways in the back of the shot just there, not wanting to do that to your tyres very early on. So a real spread. We've got to, in fact, if you're Swiss, wave your flags. Hoch Swiss, as they say, because the drivers are first and second. Alex Imperatore ahead of Philippe Besch. Tucked in behind in the third of those 3 Porsches is Dennis Olsen, and then it's a Porsche 1, 2, 3, 4 because Philip Hamprecht has made his way up after a really positive start. He took the outside line to turn 1, and it really paid off. So completing the first lap, nice tidy racing action. 1, 2, 3, 4 Porsches covered by 2.3 seconds. Then the Lamborghini that made such a strong start for Vincenzo Sospiri Racing. Very much enjoying having gained those 2 positions. He's now tucking right on the tail. Frederick Schandorf pushing Philip Hamprecht around, and Jazeman Jaffar realises he's going to have to work to get his moment. Tried to do it at the start, it didn't quite come together. Got very, very busy on that run to turn 1. We've had the fastest lap of the race set by the driver in second place, Matthias Besch, that number 16 Modena Motorsport Porsche, and they just seem comfortable in the lead. We have had the change of position. Jazeman Jaffar now ahead of Frederick Schandorf, and Schandorf may have made a bit of a mistake, maybe in the passing. He's dropped back, and now Martin Rump right on his tail, and Alessio Picariello in number 88, yesterday's race winner. He's going to see what he can pick up. So the gain on that lap was Jazeman Jaffar, so he did what he has to. He's got those Porsches ahead of him, just a mere 4 of them, but he's just got to get his head down, as you say, keep those tyres as sweet as possible and see how close he can stay to them. But of course he doesn't have any success penalty to soak up at the pit stop, so should be sitting really very well indeed. Where else are the changes coming? Chris van der Griff got passed up into 9th place past Melvin Moe. So for Melvin in the one of the 3 Craft Bamboo Mercedes, it's the one with the pink and white flashes just at the back of your shot. It looks like he's being about lined up by Frankie Chen Kong Fu this time around, so perhaps he's pushed his tyres a little too hard too soon, or simply there were quicker drivers qualified behind him and they're now finding their way past. Where else are the changes? In the Pro-Am class, well, the race leader is in a Pro-Am car, so we know who's leading that. That's Alex Imperatore. There he is in number 918, really matching the lap times to within literally a few thousandths of Matthias Besch. Matthias doesn't have any points on the circuit where he appears to be any quicker. Oh, dearie me, problems for the 999. That's Andre Couto. Looks like he's got a puncture, certainly bodywork rubbing on the tyre. That's very cruel indeed. Andre was making his way up the order, and that was a car we saw both in his hands and David Chen's hands yesterday. Very, very effective here, particularly when it was wet. So presumably there's been a little bit of contact, unless there was debris on the circuit. And for Andre Couto, the driver from Macau, looks like that's cruised back to the pits, and any chance of points, barring some peculiar train of events, out of the window for them. So for 999, that's the Tianchi Racing entered Audi Sport Asia Team Tianchi. It's a very long name. I'll call it Tianchi for now.
Well, Abbreviation Nation, that is what we are in Asia, so it's
Abbreviation
fine.
Nation.
That's right.
I very much like that. That's the King of Malaysia, so great to have him here watching everything going on 30 cars this opening round of the championship. Sepang has never looked finer, and hopefully this show will be as exciting as yesterday's show. And certainly if you're a Porsche fan, it's looking a very good show indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, but Philip Hamprecht dropping back in 4th place, and now we've got Jazeman Jaffar with someone to fight with. He passed the white Lamborghini, there it is, 666, Frederick Schandorf. He's now got Alessio Picariello about to come into shot behind him. There's Picariello in the 88 Mercedes, yesterday's winner for Craft Bamboo Racing.
Just looking at Rump as well. Actually, Martin Rump has dropped another position to Van der Drift. Well, he could have just been overtaken. But he's right on the heels of Van der Drift. We don't actually have him on screen, as per se, but we can tell the distance between these three: Van der Drift, Picarello, and Rump. So Van der Drift is a man on the on a mission.
Well, last night it was just getting dark because it was so wet during the middle of the race and those clouds were thick in the sky. But certainly Picarello and Van der Drift were the two drivers in the second half of the race who were really making progress. Making progress as he did yesterday, Takayuki Kinoshita, BMW Team Studi, that glorious-looking M4. Still trying to decide if I like that race livery. Certainly very, very busy, but not having to be particularly busy behind the wheel. Just looking super smooth. Ran this car last year with the same teammate, with the same team, and look in the background. You have to look a long way in the background, see the next car in 8.2 seconds back in GT4. It's the best of the Mercedes, and that's Jean-Marc Merlin for Craft Bamboo Racing. Car number 77. Jasmine Jafar pushing, and he's all over the tail of Philipp Hamprecht.
And what we didn't see actually yesterday with Merlin, with Frank Hugh, did have a little chat with him yesterday. He said it was self-induced. He did have a little spin, or not so much of a total spin, but he said it was completely self-induced. So he's the person to blame for the bad day at work.
And here is Jasmine Jafar in 5th place, finished 4th yesterday. Fancies taking 4th now from Philipp Hamprecht. No doing into turn 1, not close enough to make a dive into turn 2. Also, you don't want to risk your tyres, and then that great little trio behind. Still shined off from Picarello, from Chris Van der Drift. Therefore, Lamborghini from Mercedes, from Porsche, again emphasising the balance of performance and how it works here. Next best of the rest is Martin Rump and Melvin Moe, finishing the top 10. Looking left, looking right. No, you're not going to make an overtaking manoeuvre around turn 5 and 6, but if you get a good exit from 6, really the next passing point is turns 9, 7 and 8. Safety car has been deployed, trying to work out. The 999 is off the track. That was the Audi we saw limping back, and it hasn't made it back to the pits.
Apparently in flames.
And so coming round. So leading the way, Alex Imperatori, 1.5 seconds now, stretching clear of Matthias Besch. Smoke in the background, but so working their way back. Imperatori still leading from Besch. Olsen having a slightly lonely race in 3rd place, just up ahead of them there. Hamprecht waved yellow flags. That's why the safety car's just waiting to pick them up. They're going down to turn 14. He'll pick them up when they come round out of turn 15. Just to run down the classes, just looking down the Pro-Am classes, the overall leader, that's Alex Imperatori. Top car in Am. Yesterday, victory went to the AMAC Motorsports Lamborghini. They're sitting pretty again today in the Am class. Ben Porter, who brought it home last night, is the driver at the wheel of the 51 Lamborghini. The key to Imperatori leading the race around is he made a brilliant start. Let's take a look at that very same start. On pole, Dennis Olsen alongside. We have Imperatori. Looked even, and for a second we thought the Mercedes might be able to go for the gap between them, but then he suddenly was having to try and hold Philipp Hamprecht off to his left-hand side. More weaving as drivers tried to gain positions. A good start from the Lamborghini, moved up to about 6th places, but it was Porsche at the front of the field, and suddenly they had the first 4 positions. Great start from Schandorf. Jasmine Jafar coming through in 6th, 5th. But just looking at that grouping of cars, very, very tidy through those first 2 turns, but already Imperatori on the first 3 corners had this race in his pocket. But then again, Dennis Olsen was going to keep him honest, or was he? Well, he didn't have the chance because Matthias Besch said, no, I fancy 2nd place. And we had a change of position. 2nd became 3rd, 3rd became 2nd. So back behind the safety car and Imperatori. The lights are about to go out, I'm told. The safety car will be coming in at this lap, Claire. So that will actually maybe slightly dictate to the crews when they want to bring their drivers in. Yesterday they decided all to come in on the same lap, but I think today, after the crowding, the car parking in the pit lane, they'll be doing everything in their power to have them in on alternate laps. All tidy behind. Matthias Besch having to do a little bit of adjustment of line to keep that 2nd place from Dennis Olsen. Hamprecht keeping back Jasmine Jafar. Any changes further back? So Frankie Chen Kong Fu was having a little look to see if he can get around Martin Rump, but he can't. So as they were before, through the first 1, 2, 2.5 corners, and it's Imperatori from Besch from Olsen. So the pit callers there, it was Christina Nielsen hopping out and handing over to her teammate, the 99 Mercedes. That will be in the hands now of Darrell O'Young, who started 5th yesterday and was first into turn 1. Wasn't taking no for an answer. Nice and measured in the pit lane. Oh, how the teams would have all loved that much time in the pit lane yesterday. That much space in the pit lane. Of course, has to wait till the minimum pit stop time of in to out, 95 seconds in all. From pit entry to pit exit, is that every team, every car has to have at least one driver from the region, which means from Southeast Asia or Australasia. So no more European or American duos or whatever you want. So that has encouraged, the aim of that is to encourage more drivers from the region, and it's certainly worked. Those 25 GT3 cars, that is the proof of the pudding. I don't know, Jasmine Jafar has had a spin. He'd just gone up into 4th place. That has really been unfortunate. Turn 4, you come up a slight rise, bit of a crest, maybe just braking a little bit late, no point guessing, but round it went. And if he's down by the ARN Racing Porsche, that's number 8, that's in about 13th position, so probably just about as he was going to come in to hand over to the Prince of Hor, to Jeffrey Ibrahim. Unfortunate moment. It's amazing how many happen on what can potentially be an in-lap. Dennis Olsen has suddenly got a bit of pace back. He's right on the tail of the 2nd place Porsche of Matthias Besch. And let's see what is the confirmation of position for Jasmine Jafar. Just coming through ahead of a number 8. Number 8 Porsche, so it's certainly when he's coming in to make a pit stop. So not in the 4th place he'd hoped to be in when he came in to make a pit stop, but sadly shed close to 10 positions with that unfortunate gyration at turn 4. None of these cars had any success penalty to serve during their pit stop, and that is why some of the drivers who were near the front have suddenly fallen back during the pit stop sequence. So the car in 2nd place, Taner Sathan Thurakul. There he is, closing in 1st and 2nd. It was 1.5 seconds. It looks to be about a similar order, maybe slightly coming down. 918 still ahead of 911. Then you can see the GT4 class leader. Then we're about to have a change for 3rd position because Jingsu Sun is being passed, or attempted to be passed, by Darrell O'Young. We just heard from Christina Nielsen. And I don't think she knew where her car was when she was talking to you, Claire, but suddenly she's now looking at the screens and up into 3rd place. But has he gone too deep? Darrell O'Young went too deep into turn 15, and the driver who's going to gain is going to be Wear on Tan, or is it? No, Darrell just gets enough traction. But this battle, they're almost stuck together by glue. The 2 absolute racing Audis, and in the middle is, on his favourite stretch of track, is Darrell O'Young, trying to put the Mercedes up a position. And yesterday the GT4 class leader found himself in the way when the lead battle came through, couldn't get out of the way. And is Darrell O'Young going to gain a position, or is he going to lose one? Yes, he's going to lose one. Wear on Tan used the GT4 car very well indeed, but now Wear on can't get past because his teammate is blocking him. So as you were. So great stuff on the track.
Of course, Peratori is out of the car, even though his graphics is still up there. We've got Triple H just off that circuit, given a bit of a dust there. And will this mean he'll be ploughed in?
Well, I think Jeffrey Ibrahim had such a good debut yesterday, and already on the in-lap, his teammate Jasmine Jafar had a spin and fell from what had been a hard-earned 4th place, lost probably about 10 positions. Not as many positions lost this time, but certainly, well, it's a learning curve. And
it's a rite of passage. You have to go off. You have to go off. There's no way that you won't go off, especially during a race situation. But he's got to be able to get all that gravel off before, he goes off again and take it a bit easy. Another spin there out on circuit.
Oh, that's MG Choi, yesterday's race-winning car. Alessio Picariello, that had an extra 30 time in the pits, an extra 15 seconds, which would have dropped it down the order. He's now trying to find a place to put it round in the right direction without involving anybody else. That's the important part of that sentence. So unfortunate there. So 30 cars started the race. We lost Andre Couto's car. We saw it limping back to the pits, and it then stopped on the way back in, and that caused a safety car. The safety car. Yesterday we had 3 by the time we got to the pit stops. This McLaren, interesting car, the 720S, run by ABSA Motorsport. It's not the car they wanted. They did want the car, but their one wasn't ready, so they're running a prototype from McLaren. Very delighted to have that, but they'll get their Pucker race version, which will be the same but newer and better, when they get to round 2 in Thailand. And that is Yuya Sakamoto, and he's trying to get up with Alex Zhao in the Lamborghini, right onto his tail now, and 9-10 starting to fall back. They're fighting for well, effectively for second position in the Pro-Am class. Sakamoto in the Ferrari isn't in the Pro-Am class, but the Lamborghini in front and the Porsche behind. The Porsche behind starting to fall back just a little bit. Really, really good strong run by Chris van der Drift. Got up to about 5th, 6th position. It is in 5th or 6th position, but the body language of the car is not one that's gaining, it's one that's slightly losing ground. And the next car in line, just trying to see who it's going to be. We've got the Ferrari.
Just looking at that,
should be
Lichau. Well, with Buraimbakhti, if he can, well, he's a second slower than Lichau. If Lichau can keep it at this pace and nurse those tyres for the next 8 minutes, he's guaranteed a top 3 spot for the Pro-Am category.
It's very funny yesterday when you were interviewing Alessio Picariello, who thought he'd just taken the lead in the Pro-Am class and didn't realise he'd actually won the whole race. Therefore, when the checkered flag was waved at him, he didn't know quite how to react. Right, car 888 and 26, contact at turn 11 under investigation. 888, of course, is Jeffrey Ibrahim, unless it was before he took it over and it was Yasemin Nafar. And car number 26 is the Be Quick Racing Daniel Bilski, Henk Kicks Audi. Didn't see that incident. I'll keep an eye on the timing screen to see what happens, but really I want to keep my eye on the main screen because the battle for the lead. Inthra Fuvasak from Sathian Thirikul, the 2 Thai drivers, the 2 Porsche drivers, down they go yet again into turn 1. Still time to cross the finish line and start one more lap. The Porsches will look super strong here. Got caught out a bit in the rainy conditions yesterday, but as much as that, it was the crowded pit lane that scuppered the chances of some of them. But here we go, coming through to victory, the 911 Absolute Racing Porsche, Tanat Sathian Thirikul, being chased very hard indeed by Vutikon Inthra Fuvasak. Thai drivers first and second, Porsche drivers first and second. Lights are flashing on the car that's crossing the line. Third to take the checkered flag, but first in GT4, Sunaka Chukuchu. So 2 wins in 2 days for BMW Team Studi. So there are the winning cars. 911, today's victor. Philip Hamprecht did the early stint, so he's there to give a big hug to Tanat Sathian Thirikul.
Tanat and Philippe, congratulations. You drove a tenacious race. You made it stick, you played the game right, and you made the right move at the right time.
Yeah, to be fair, I think we have the same pace in the beginning of our stint, but then I just tried to push him to make a little mistake, and which he did. And I just take the opportunity there, but I think if I didn't do like a dive bomb, so it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Thank you very much. And Philippe, wow, conditions from yesterday and today, and your drive as well.
Yeah, yesterday was a bit tricky. It was a bit of a messy race. I don't think the viewers at home could follow it at all because they didn't know what was going on with the rain and everything here. But yeah, today was a clean race. You could follow it quite well. My first in was, let's say, not the greatest. I tried to keep it in 4th. Didn't have the pace as the leaders today. Alex Imperatori drove a great first stint, handed the car over in the lead. But yeah, Tanat did a great job. Quick, consistent laps, and in the end we managed to get a win, and yeah, super happy for the team. It's been a long preparation, and for us 2 young guys to get it is really nice. And first win for the new Porsche GT3R, so mega.
Congratulations, guys.
Let's take a look at the results. So there it is, Tanat Sathian Thirikul, Philippe Hamprecht, victory by 0.83 of a second over a fellow Porsche racing crew, Vutikon and Fuvasak and Alex Imperatori. And Darrell Young, so strong yesterday, and Christina Nielsen, they did get a good result yesterday, they certainly did today. They'll be up on the podium, 3rd position in their Craft Bamboo Racing Mercedes. Audi took 4th place, Wear and Tan and Martin Rump right on their tail at the end of the race. Then yesterday's 2nd place, followed by 5th place today. So useful points hauls for MG Choi, as he likes to be called, the Korean racer, and Gabriele Piana. And 6th place, a Ferrari, Yuka Sakamoto and David Russell. They were 3rd yesterday, so again, a useful haul of points from this, the opening round in 2019. 3rd place trophies to first to Darrell Young, then to Christina Nielsen. So they put a Mercedes up on the podium, but it's Porsche on the top 2 steps. On the left-hand side, Vutikon Inthra Fuvasak and Alexander Imperatori. Now the winners' trophies going to up on the top step of the podium, Tanat Sathian Thirikul and Philippe Hamprecht. Smile, relax, job has been done. Next round, May 11th and 12th. The Chang International Circuit at Buriram in Thailand. New name, new faces in new places. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic season.